Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't had that girl that orders the supersized Big Mac meal but with the Diet Coke because she's on a diet, smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and have her smash it right now. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to the newest patrons. Nathan, Scott, Mika Boy, Ramon, Michael, Lead With Love, David, The Soulless, Miss T, Johnny, Marshall, John Wick, Charles, JT, Edwin, Elbert12, and Jamie. If you have not already signed up for that Patreon, make sure you hit that link in the description below. This morning, I uploaded a video where I'm being interviewed, and guess who walks by? One of the Menendez brothers. Exactly what I've been saying, right? Or when the news asked me, you ain't gonna see that anywhere else, so make sure you hit that link in the description below. This episode right here, man. Hector, you are so damn calm, fair. How and why were you able to carry yourself the way you did inside the California Department of Corrections, where you happen to work 16 years as an officer, a sergeant, and a lieutenant? Well, here we go. Are there similarities between being in the military and being an inmate that is incarcerated? Absolutely, 100% yes, right? And for somebody would have had to been in the military and either been an inmate and or worked in a prison to see both similarities, right? And what better person to tell them than me? First and foremost, the obvious. You belong to a government entity. Facts. My buddy in the Army had a funny tattoo. He got a stamp tattoo right after basic training. It said property of U.S. government. That's a fact. You belong to the government. If you're an inmate, you belong to either the federal custody and or state custody and or even county custody, right? You belong to a government entity, which means you cannot leave on your own free will. Well, Hector, that's not true. You're a lying son of a bitch, and you shouldn't be talking anymore. Look, in prisons, in jails, in correctional facilities, you have gates. You have fences. You have razor wire, also known as concertina wire. Electrified fences. You touch it, you die. Plain and simple. Can't go into details. That, my friend, is confidential information. In the military, there might be gates like on a base, but what's even worse is that you have invisible barriers, right? You cannot walk away and leave. That is considered AWOL, absent without leave, right? The feds are going to come get you, scoop your ass up, and take you to Leavenworth prison for not abiding by your contract. As an inmate, if you jump the fence, dig a tunnel under there, right? Like the movie Shawshank Redemption, crawl through, one of my top favorite movies, crawl through a tunnel of, sewage water. You are an escapee. You just escaped, right? AWOL, escape. You cannot leave. So one, you belong to a government entity. Two, you cannot leave just up and down whenever you want. Physical fitness. Hector, we be watching you on Instagram. You be doing burpees like an inmate. Oh, God. Now, is it really like an inmate? Did fucking burpees get designated for strictly inmates? Or do you have CrossFit athletes doing burpees? Do you have military members doing burpees? Check this out. Your boy was young in the infantry back in 2002. Now, that one I could say back in the day because so many changes have happened. There was only men in the infantry. Now things have changed. Now they have allowed females. I'll even dive into that. Real quick then. Males in the military, full of testosterone. You got testosterone oozing. Right? You feel like the ultimate warrior. Inmates, you're surrounded in a prison yard, right? Unless you're in Donovan. There's one good yard. I ain't trying to get nobody stabbed. But the testosterone levels, man, there's just as my homie Greñas would say, the essence of men. The essence of men, right? So you got testosterone off the charts in the military. You got testosterone off the charts in the inmate population. Now, I was getting to something before I went off on my tangent of testosterone. It was, I'll dive back into that one. Food. Oh, working out. Burpees. Here we go. Then we're going to go food. Burpees. Being in the infantry, we did not have the luxury of going to a Gold's Gym in Germany, in Kuwait, in the middle of the desert that looks exactly like Glamis. I deployed to Bosnia in 2003, peacekeeping mission. That one had a nice little gym on Camp Banja We shared it with like the Australians and the Brits. And that was like far-fetched, seeing a little gym like that. But other than that, guess what we were doing? Push-ups, front back goes, flutter kicks, sit-ups, crunches, right? Calisthenics. You get your M16 rifle and you fucking curl it 1,000,000 times. Hector, that's not true. You said 1,000,000. Ain't nobody can do that. You curl the fucking M16 rifle 1,000,000 times, right? Ain't no different than an inmate getting a water bag, a trash bag, filling it up with water and improvising, right? Sand bags, filling it up with sand. I be seeing they get the state issued shirts. They be packing it with dirt. They make a little handle. Now you got a little curl, a little dumbbell, right? Similarities. I'm telling you, you need to stay physically fit or your life's gonna freaking end shortly. Oh, we'll dive on to food, but let's talk about danger. The dangers between being in the Army infantry, well, we'll narrow it down, and being in prison. In prison, people are legitimately trying to kill you, right? You ring up a drug debt. You look at a big homie the wrong way, right? You say the wrong thing about a big homie. The big homie thinks you said a wrong thing about him. You're as good as done. That's a wrap, right? As my homie likes to say, you get sent to Brazil, right? It's not my homie, I'm just saying. Well, in the Army, Iraq, I didn't go to Afghanistan, but people are legitimately trying to take your fucking life. Period. In violent fucking manners, man. Look, in prison, they're trying to stab the dog shit, or they are stabbing the dog shit out of you, right? Till you die, till you get hit in a vital spot, the heart, right underneath the armpit. They be knowing too. The carotid artery. Well, they're in war, they're doing everything they can, trying to blow you up, shoot you up, right? Just kidnap you, doing all kinds of crazy things. Violence and the propensity for violence and the risk of seriously bodily injury and or death. Food. Let's get to food. I like food. There was a time when I was a young, chubby officer at Centinela State Prison. This had to have been 2008. Because after my 1-year stint in Charlie Gym, my first year, I kind of bounced around, kind of landed in ADSEG, A5, right, back then. Had the big ASU yards. They didn't have the individual dog kennels. And I remember an inmate complaining. And my communication skills were subpar, right? Not as what they are now. And self-feeding, right? It's ADSEG. You go around with these bubble trays and you feed them. And the inmate tells me, he's like a Southsider too. He tells me, oh man, this food is crap. He was kind of like trying to talk shit to me. It was kind of one of those awkward moments, right? And like I said, I didn't have the communication skills, but he's like, oh man, this food is crap. You guys be something. inhumane or something along those lines, right? And I looked at the tray. I legitimately looked at the tray and said, you guys are eating better than the military. The dude looks at me through the window, kind of confused, like, nah, really? And I'm like, yes, dude. And I keep it moving, right? I was upset because I was new, I didn't have communication skills, and the dude was complaining about the food, right? This was 2008. Just 3 years prior, 2005, we were eating T-Rats in Iraq. Worse than MREs. I actually like MREs, the meals ready to eat, those little brown bags. They got spaghetti with meat sauce, chicken with salsa number 7, beef patty, right? I just named all my favorites. But the T-Rats were old World War II cans. Let me tell you about the eggs in Iraq. The eggs were liquid eggs that if you let them sitting out for too long, they went back to the liquid form and they smelled like farts. I do not recall in the working in the prison serving any eggs that went to any type of liquid form and smelling like farts. Maybe some institutions they'd be serving that. Where I was at, they didn't serve that, right? They had legitimate eggs. Especially Sundays. Sundays in prison in ADSEG back in the day. I don't know. I haven't been there in a minute. They would have the Grand Slam. I'm talking about like whatever it was on there. The sausage, the eggs, the toast. They had it. It was a full fucking tray. It's like, oh, Sunday, Grand Slam. Boom, 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 boom. Stack it up for it, right? And just hook it up. That's food. Improvising, overcoming, and adapting. Military, inmates. How many times have we been seeing inmates make the weirdest contraptions? I'm talking about the electrical power surges made out of wood, cardboard, and paper clips. I mean, I wouldn't trust that shit, but they be doing it. They be plugging it into the outlet, and now you got multiple sockets, and they just be blowing the fuse all the time. Hey, Sarge, can we get the key down here for the chase? The inmate blew the fuse. Yeah, come pick up the keys, or I'll stop by when I do my rounds, right? Your boy was a sergeant. I'd be having to hear all these phone calls. They be blowing out the fuses all the time. I never got a call that an inmate electrocuted themselves. They probably kept that to themselves. Just picture it. I got electrocuted in Iraq. Mind you, talk about electrocution, similarities. There was, holy shit, man. There is no fucking code as far as like, what do you call that? When people come and they like audit your stuff, like security codes, not security codes, like up to code, right? Electricity wise. There was a shower. Oh man. All I know is that I got my whoopee, which is a blanket, a wet blanket, and I put it over the shower stall, and I went like, holy shit, right? Oh, fuck. I let go. I said, nobody touch that. Don't nobody go in that shower, right? I don't know what. I don't know. I got electrocuted. The water, the metal, the wet thingy just got me, right? Zapped me. Ooh, pissed me off, right? Scared the shit out of me and pissed me off, right? I don't want to be here in this country anymore, man. This place sucks. So improvising in the army, well, the military in general, especially the Marines, right? 550 cord, which is that parachute cord, the paratrooper cord you guys be seeing, and 100-mile-an-hour tape, which is duct tape, right? Duct tape and some rope, you can make anything, right? You can make a ladder, you can make a shelf, you can put together your uniform if it falls apart, right? Gets blown up and tattered, like, oh shit, don't trip, I'm gonna tape this up right quick. Same thing. Inmates, they be making shelves in their, they also be making hidden safes. And don't think I don't be knowing where those hidden safes are at. I be telling you guys, we know it all, right? We know it all. Well, Hector, what's a hidden safe? Well, hidden safe is exactly that. They be hiding contraband in there. Weapons, cell phones, tobacco, and dope in a hidden spot within the cell, secreted. Which reminds me, in basic training, we had tobacco that you couldn't do the tobacco in there. That we would like sneak in. The panels in the rooftop, we would move it up and move it that way and hide, like, you know, they had probably Playboy magazines back then. This is 2002, right? So the little fucking hiding contraband. In the military, you hide contraband, and in the inmates, they hide contraband. Now, let's talk about fighting. Ooh, good old fisticuffs. Pow, 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 pow. Right? Good old fisticuffs. Hector, if you had $1 for how many asses you done since been beat, how many dollars would you have? Too many. I've seen my fair fucking share of ass beatings in the military and in the prison system. I specifically remember, you notice how I don't fucking skip a beat because I ain't making up lies here? In basic training, 2002, these two guys got into it. They had an exchange of words. One of them told the other one, let's go to the bathroom and handle it, right? This is another thing. Inmates and military, you're going to go fight, but you're going to go fight in a place where people can't see, right? You're not going to yell for attention. You're going to go handle your business. Well, I'll be damned if the one guy wasn't walking in front of the other guy. Man, what a cheap shot. What a damn cheap shot, man. As soon as the guy's face is to the door, about to open the door to the bathroom, the guy behind him runs his full speed. The big guy too, bulky. Runs and knee jumps him right in the back. Boom! The guy's face opened the door. The guy's face opened the door. Boom! Oh, man. We all look like, people, how people in a fight are like, hey, there's no rules. There's no rules. It's a street fight, right? Then you have the other guys like, oh, that was dirty, man. He hit him from behind. Hey, it's a street fight, right? You're always going to have your two sides. Anything goes. Hulkamaniacs, right? Dude's fucking eyeball was done for, man. Dude's eye was done for. I'm telling you, he opened the door with his face. The drill sergeant seen him. Oh, they were not happy. Oh, they were absolutely not happy. They smoked the dog shit out of us. Smoking means that they make you do the push-ups, right? They were not fucking happy, right? They were not happy. You can tell in their face. You can tell in their demeanorism. But it was one of those things that they understood. Hey, this is going to happen. Like, regardless, this is going to happen, right? We're not saying for you guys to do it. We're not encouraging it. But, hey, all right, you guys wanted to fuck around. You guys are now going to fuck around together, right? So, fights, boom. How many fights have we seen in prison? How many fights have we not seen in prison, right? Like, because they be handling their business where the guards and other inmates can't see the facts. And this normal program in Iraq, 2004, we had cubicles. Hey, I'll touch on cubicles and two-man living and dorm living. I'm telling you, there's so many similarities. You guys think like, damn, Hector, you be acting like an inmate. Why do you act like an inmate? And why do you talk like a Southsider? Well, first of all, I was born in Southern California. Actually, I was born in Hanford, but I was raised in Southern California. Second of all, your boy was a fucking grunt. Ground pounder, 11 bang bang, fucking front lines, tip of the motherfucking spear, right? Where we were living like savages, right? Savages, the whole point of this whole damn video, right? The whole point of this whole damn video. 2004, cubicles, right? Hey, in a prison, you live in two-man cells. Cubicle. I was in a little wooden fucking thing with my buddy Maze from Tracy, California, right? Little guy. Awesome dude. Young, right? Took him under my wing. Well, I'll be damned. That day, it was me and my buddy Weeks sitting in my cubicle. Made out of wood, plywood. And our second half of our platoon came back from a patrol. Right, it would half the platoon would stay in cleaning weapons. The other half would be out on patrol, and we would just constant switch 24/7, 365, no time off, no breaks, no nothing. So we start hearing an argument ensue between my best man, right? So yeah, he's my best man, and My other buddy from Puerto Rico, we fucking start hearing the heated argument. Another similarity, inmates and military guys, you're always pissed off. You're always fucking pissed off because of the circumstances that you're in, right? It's fucking hot. It's people trying to kill you, right? The food fucking sucks, right? You can't even have a little one-on-one, enjoy, make love to yourself because there's another person in the room, right? Or you're in a dorm. It's like, man, if I don't bust out of this motherfucker, I'm going to lose my mind, right? So we hear the argument ensue. Me and Weeks look up, we kind of smirk, we just kind of hear, and it goes like this. He tells them, hey, move your saw. So the saw is a squad automatic weapon, a machine gun that shoots 5.56, M249 squad automatic weapon. We hear, move your saw. And then we hear, fuck you, make me. Oh, man. Pow, boom, pow, pow, boom, pow. Right into the wood and plywood. Pow, oof. Oh, he fucking made him move the saw. He made him move the saw, right? He made him move the saw. The saw got moved, and that was the end of that. Yeah, little feelings were hurt, but I mean, hey, it's kind of, that was just what time it was, man. So, that, I talked about exercise, I talked about food, fucking poor diet. Hey, there's things that the inmates have better than the army. Facts. Hector, you can't say that. I just did. There's things, say it again for the people in the back, that the inmates have better than the military. I already told you the food. The food, right? When you're deployed overseas in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, you're good luck. Good luck, right? Good luck. At least in the prison, you guaranteed, like clockwork, you're gonna have food. In the army, you don't know when you're gonna eat, right? You do not know when you're gonna eat. But in the Marine Corps too, right? I gotta give shout out to the Navy and the Air Force. I have to. But in the military, you hear me. You just don't know when you're gonna eat. Medical treatment. Oh, this is by far bounds leaps. Now that I'm reflecting back to think of the inmates that we transferred, and these are the ones that hurt kids, to the top of the line cancer treatments in La Jolla Scripps, La Jolla, whatever that one's. They're getting the best care, right? You ever been to a VA hospital? Going to the VA hospital is like going to Charlie Yard, RJD, Level 4, SNY, EOP. It is a madhouse. It's gotten better. It's gotten better since my first tour of the VA in 2005. Right? Because I just went back not too long ago. Had to refill my ED medication. But it's gotten better. And the inmates in Bravo Yard, Centinela State Prison. I love giving you time frames so you guys know where I was at. Centinela, Bravo Yard, level 3 GP in the year 2010-ish, 2011. There's a clinic right there. There's a big, massive holding cell where when you walk in, you pat down the inmates, make sure they don't have no weapons or anything. They go in to the holding cell. You lock the door. They're in there. Oh, they used to complain. Oh, my goodness. This is some bullshit. What's taking so long? They'd be looking at a watch that they don't even be wearing. I'm telling you, when I was young, I had would it be a chip on your shoulder? Let me ask you guys, would it be a chip on your shoulder if you're seeing these guys complain? Oh, it's taking too long. Sometimes we literally be like, hey, do you have some place to go? Right, not to be a rude dick, but yeah, to be a rude dick. Do you have some place to go? The reason it upset me so much, because they were complaining about this medical treatment when your boy was at the VA hospital waiting hours. Fucking 5, 6, 7 hours in a waiting room to get not even the greatest quality care probably the lowest quality care, right? So I took that in a way personal, like, hey man, stop complaining, right? There's fucking veterans out there that served their country, that went off to war, and now they're getting shit fucking treatment here at the VA, right? At least you're here about to see, like, what tops, man? Like 30 minutes. 30-minute wait time, come on. That 30 minutes versus fucking 5 hours, that's what I was getting at, right? Don't see, even just reflecting back, I could just feel that rage building inside of me. Golly gee. Right? So there's the similarities, and those are the differences. With that, the message for today is, and it's always along the same lines that I always say, right? Always keep an open mind, right? Be firm, fair, and consistent, right? As a correctional peace officer, I didn't go around flexing on people. Right? I didn't flex like, hey, you're going to listen to me because I'm an officer of the law. I knew better than that. I had street smarts to tell me that this badge isn't going to save me from an ass whooping or a stabbing, right? But I'm talking about to think that burpees are beneath you. In fact, I'll encourage some people to do some fucking burpees because they got their titties looking like flapjacks, right? And to always know that people's circumstances are always worse, can be worse than others. And some people just stay quiet about it, right? We'll just never know until a guy comes here like fucking how many years later, 16 years later, and tells a story, right? Numerous people's story. With that, keep pushing forward.